What if I told you the van that you see every single day is actually a monster hiding in plain sight? The most civilian-looking family van that has become the standard in North America has the DNA of a track monster, and the craziest part is that it was a total accident. How could a van with a solid chassis, advanced suspensions and overbuilt components be considered a corporate accident? Well, the secret lies in what happened behind the scenes, inside Chrysler's labs. Back in the 80s, Chrysler was in deep trouble. They couldn't sell the 300 anymore, and they had to come up with a completely new vehicle. Although they had released symbolic cars like the Cordoba, the Laser, and the Executive, they weren't prepared for the economic crisis of the 80s at all. They had to build something that could be sold no matter what, something that their customers seriously needed. And while they were thinking of a way to optimize their production and maximize their profits, they found the brilliant idea of making minivans. Now for you, it might be a no-brainer decision, but back in the time it was genius, because a minivan is the perfect blend between a hatchback and a van. It could fit more people, more stuff, all while being easy to drive, and more importantly, there was a huge audience out there that seriously needed these minivans. Families. Chrysler has been designing family vehicles since 1941, when it released the first generation of the Town & Country, a wagon with doors made out of wood that could fit 8 passengers at once. Once the Second World War was over, the Town & Country came back several times. A different version was released once every year. Even though the first generation came with an inline 6, the second one was now entirely made out of steel and came with Chrysler's first ever V8, famously known as the Hemi. The third generation of the minivan got Chrysler's famous rocket body style and was by far the roomiest wagons America had produced. Anyway, the Town & Country went on and ended up having a total of 9 generations, until the last one got released during the 90s. But it didn't stop here. Fast forward to this day, the most popular model made by Chrysler is also a minivan, but this one has almost nothing to do with the Town & Country. The Chrysler Pacifica has become the first choice for a minivan in North America, being used for many purposes and by many businesses and families who don't realise that they're driving an actual monster. Recently, a video surfaced on the internet showing a Pacifica with a fantastic cornering ability on a closed track, which left so many viewers wondering if Chrysler had built the Pacifica with track performance in mind. And the truth is, not really. This minivan was hiding a 3.6 Pentastar V6 that could reach 290 horsepower and 260 pound-foot in torque. And it wasn't even the most surprising thing. This family van had a 9-speed gearbox, which made it reach 120 miles per hour. And that wasn't even the real top speed because it's limited electronically for safety measures. 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. It might seem slow for a race car, but this was essentially a van that weighed more than 2 tons, and obviously that's without taking into consideration the hybrid version, which is much quicker off the line. Now put this monster on a track, and it handles as good as a Miata. No understeer, no sudden moves, because the Pacifica could transfer its own weight when transitioning. Chrysler had built a sleeper car without even realising it. Now let's go back to the 90s, when the unexpected took place inside their labs. In 1998, the automotive group behind Mercedes, Daimler, decided to establish a partnership with Chrysler, and they formed together the Daimler-Chrysler Group. The idea behind the merge was to complement both companies' strength, so each one could succeed where the other had failed. But after a couple of months of work together, they started to realise that something was off. Even though they thought the partnership would create a bridge between North America and Europe, they quickly realised that their ways of doing business could not work together. They had different management styles, many internal rivalries, and their work ethics were not aligned, which ended the partnership in 2007. Only 7 years later, Fiat did the same again, but this time it worked. Until 2021 arrived, and they merged all together with Peugeot to create Stellantis. Now you're probably wondering what these mergers have to do with a fast minivan. Well, it couldn't have been possible if they hadn't happened. Here's why. When 2 car manufacturers merge, It usually means that they will put everything in place to reduce costs the most by producing all of their cars under the same roof, for example. But in our case, Chrysler and Fiat had planned to not only unify the production, but the research as well. They worked together in the same labs, and they were usually told to reuse engines and components from previous models, which explains how they ended up putting performance parts from recent racing models inside of the Pacifica and created a monster without even realizing it. Don't forget to subscribe for everything cars and business